Hello, my dear learners. Congratulations on reaching Lesson 8, where we will delve into the frequent use of Chinese particles and explore common Chinese interrogative words. This knowledge will greatly assist you in engaging in conversations with Chinese speakers effortlessly. Let's get started with the exciting journey of learning Mandarin. Let's kick off this lesson with some easy chapters about Chinese particles. We'll start with 4 essential ones. Ma. This particle is used to form yes-no questions. It's placed at the end of a statement to turn it into a question. Da. This particle functions as a possessive or descriptive marker. It indicates possession or turns an adjective or noun into an attribute. La. Used to indicate a change of situation, completion of an action, or to express a past event. Na. This particle is used to inquire about the actions or states of others, often paired to ask about reciprocal actions. Now, let's dive into an example for each one of these particles. Are you a student? 你是学生吗? My book. 我的书. He has eaten. 他吃饭了. And you? 你呢? Dear learners, the first 3 particles should be familiar as we've encountered them in many examples in previous lessons. Let's quickly recap. In the first example, 你是学生吗? It's like saying, are you a student? The question particle ma is used to turn it into a question. In the second example, 我的书, the is a possessive particle indicating that the book belongs to me. The third example, 他吃饭了, la indicates a completed action, signifying that the person has finished eating. And finally, na is often paired to ask about reciprocal actions. For instance, when you say, my name is Youxi, 你呢? Meaning how about you? Or in a simpler context, how are you? 你怎么样? To which you might respond, 我很好, 你呢? Meaning I'm very good, and you? So, that's about it. Before delving into the second set of particles, I want to express my gratitude to the person who shared feedback about the use of la. The insight into how la doesn't necessarily indicate past tense, as highlighted in the example 下了再说, is valuable. Instead, it often signifies completion or a change of state, emphasizing the action of getting off the bus. This aligns perfectly with our past discussions where we specifically addressed expressing past tense in certain contexts. I completely agree with the observation, and thank you very much for pointing that out. Now, let's delve into the last 3 particles. Ba. This particle is utilized to indicate the object of an action, often suggesting a change in the state of the object. Additionally, ba can soften a suggestion or make a polite request. Ja, functioning as a verbal complement. Ja indicates an ongoing action or a continuous state. De. This versatile particle is used in 3 distinct cases. Used to link an adjective with a verb, placed after an adverb to modify a verb, added after a noun to indicate the manner of an action. Let's explore each of these particles and understand how they contribute to the nuances of the Chinese language by looking at some easy examples. Let's go eat. 我们去吃饭吧. He is working. 他正在工作着. Laugh happily. 高兴地笑. Run quickly. 快速地跑. Work with heart. 用心地工作. So in the first example, ba suggests an invitation to go eat, creating a friendly and inviting tone. The use of ja in the second example indicates a continuous action, portraying the person working without interruption. The versatile particle da or di demonstrates its dual pronunciation. In the example 高兴地笑, the links happy with laugh, creating laugh happily. In 快速地跑, di modifies quickly, forming run quickly. Finally, 用心地工作 uses the to indicate the manner of the action, meaning working with heart. The final particle we'll discuss today is de. De is used after verbs or adjectives to indicate capability, possibility, or degree. Now, Let's look at some examples to better understand its usage. 他跑得很快。He runs very fast. 他做得到。He can do it. 你说得清楚吗？ Can you explain it clearly? To keep it very simple, in the first example, 他跑得很快. They indicates the degree of proficiency or excellence in an action. In the second example, 他做得到. They indicates the capability to perform an action. Lastly, in 你说得清楚吗? They indicates the possibility of accomplishing an action clearly. I hope this makes the usage of this particle easy to grasp for you. Thank you very much, friends. Now that we've covered the particles, let's dive into our final chapters to explore common Chinese interrogative words. If you have any questions or feedback, feel free to leave them in the comment section. Let's dive right into it. What? 什么? Why? 为什么? When? 什么时候? Another version of when? 何时? For 什么? Meaning what? We've encountered it in various examples. It's a fundamental term for asking questions in Chinese. Regarding 为什么, it's essential to note that 为 means for or to, so when combined with 什么, it translates to for what or to what. Understanding these components makes grasping Chinese words easier. Now, let's explore 什么时候, meaning what time or what moment. It's a versatile phrase used for inquiries about specific times or occasions. Lastly, we have 何时, another term for when. 何 means what or which, and 时 means time or moment. The difference between 什么时候 and 何时 is that the first one is more detailed. Recall our previous lesson where 小时 means hour, consisting of 时 for time or moment and 小 for small. Now, let's jump into examples. What are you doing? 你在干什么? Why didn't you come to the party? 你为什么不来参加聚会? When will you go home? 你什么时候回家? When does the meeting start? 会议何时开始? For 你在干什么? We introduce the new verb that, meaning to do or to work. It's worth noting that we've previously studied the verb 做, also meaning to do, and 工作, meaning to work or job. The placement of 在 before the verb indicates the ongoing action. So, the question is what are you doing? 你为什么不来参加聚会? Notice the placement of 为什么 directly after the pronoun. Also, noticing the word 聚会 containing 会, which we learn means able to or know to, is a great way to connect and remember new vocabulary. 你什么时候回家? Again, the placement of 什么时候 in the sentence is crucial for understanding. Also, the phrase 回家 meaning return to home. Lastly, 会议何时开始? The placement of 何时 this time is in the middle of the sentence. Asking when will the meeting start? And noting that 什么时候 is more specific than 何时 is an important distinction. Before we move on to the next chapter, here's a bonus example. 你在看什么? Meaning what are you looking at? Here, we simply replaced the verb 干 with 看, which means to look or to watch. Now, let's explore the next set of interrogative words. Who? 谁? Whose? 谁的? Where? 哪里? Informal version of where. 哪? So, friends, after exploring these interrogative expressions, let's jump into examples to better understand how to use them and grasp them easily. Who is in the classroom? 谁在教室里? Whose book is this? 这是谁的书? Where is he? 他在哪里? Where do you live? 你住在哪? Notice how each interrogative word serves a unique purpose. 谁 helps us inquire about a person, asking who. And 谁的 for ownership or possession. 哪里 guides us when asking about a general location, and its informal version, 哪, adds a touch of familiarity in everyday conversations. Now, let's bring in the terms this and that, which are 这个 and 那个 respectively, as we have studied before. Additionally, in the context of location, be aware of 这里 meaning here and 那里 meaning there. Pay close attention to the pronunciation, as where 哪里 and there 那里 have almost the same pronunciation, but thankfully, they use different characters. Dear learners, kindly pay attention to easily differentiate between where and there. Let's look at some quick examples to see the use of there and here in Chinese. I am here. 我在这里。She is there. 她在那里。Finally, before moving to the next chapter of our lesson, I want you to also know that as 这里 and 那里 mean here and there, there is also the informal version, 这 and 那 meaning here and there as well. I want to take the chance and introduce to you two more interrogative words for choice and selection, which are 哪个 and 哪种, and I want you to please notice the difference again between 哪个 and 那个 meaning that one, as we also know 这个是个 meaning this one. I want you to listen to the pronunciation one more time and repeat after it. 哪个那个这个 Let's dive into examples for more clarity on how to use them. Which color of clothes do you want? 你想要哪个颜色的衣服 Which kind of movies do you like? 你喜欢哪种电影 Okay, friends, let's move on now to the next chapter and discover interrogative words related to specific ways of doing things. How? 怎么 How is it or how about? 怎么样 How to say? 怎么说 What to do? 怎么办 As you can see, friends, 怎么 meaning how is part of 怎么样, which we have already seen in one of the first videos expressing asking about well-being with 你怎么样 meaning how are you. So, as you can see, 怎么 is used in different ways, like 怎么说 meaning how to say, and 怎么办 meaning what to do. Now, let's move on to examples to further understand their use. How do you study Chinese? 你怎么学习中文 How is the weather today? 今天的天气怎么样 How do you say this in Chinese? 这个用中文怎么说 I'm lost, what should I do? 我迷路了，怎么办 These interrogative words could be very useful as a beginner in your journey, so don't hesitate to use them while trying to form sentences from your thoughts. And notice how time is always in the beginning of the sentence in Chinese, like 今天的天气怎么样 Let's hear these examples one last time before moving to the second part of this chapter.
你怎么学习中文？
今天的天气怎么样？
这个用中文怎么说？我迷路了，怎么办
The last two interrogative words for this chapter are 怎么了 meaning what happened, and 什么样的 meaning what kind, or what sort of. Make sure not to confuse 什么样 with 怎么样。Moving on to examples. Why did you cry? What happened? 你为什么哭了？怎么了 What kind of birthday gift do you want? 你想要什么样的生日礼物 As you can see, 怎么了 is used to seek an explanation for what occurred, asking about the cause of crying. And 什么样的 is used by inquiring about the specific preferences or type of gift the person desires for their birthday. That is all for this chapter, friends. Let's move on to the final chapter of this lesson about quantity, measurement and time. How many? Or how much? 多少 How much money? 多少钱 How much time? 多少时间 How far? 多远 These interrogative words are used for asking about the quantity or number of countable items, inquiring about the cost or price of an item or service, Ask about the duration or time needed for a specific task or event and questioning the distance between two locations or objects. Now let's look at some examples. How many pets do you have? 你有多少宠物？ How much is this bag? 这个包多少钱？ How much time does it take to complete this task? 完成这个任务需要多少时间？ How far is the school from here? 学校离这里有多远？这个包多少钱？ How much is this bag? Asking about the price of an item is a common and practical use of this phrase, especially when shopping or inquiring about a product. 学校离这里有多远？ How far is the school from here? When exploring a new area or planning commutes, asking about distance is essential. This question helps gain insights into the proximity of locations. Let's hear these examples one last time, before moving to the last two interrogative words for this lesson.
你有多少宠物？这个包多少钱？
完成这个任务需要多少时间？
学校离这里有多远？
What time? 几点？ How many days? 几天？几点？ What time? This phrase is crucial when you need to know the specific hour of an event, meeting, or any time-related activity. 几天？ How many days? Use this phrase when asking about the specific number of days, such as the duration of a trip, the length of an event, or any other time-related period, similar to 几天，多少天 also means how many days. Both phrases can be used interchangeably to inquire about the duration in days, offering flexibility in expressing this particular question. Moving on to examples, what time does it start tonight? 今天晚上几点开始？ How many days are you planning to stay here? 你要在这里待几天？ Dear learners, the purpose of presenting these interrogative words is to provide you with an opportunity to hear them at least once. Try to mentally create examples with these words, as this is an effective way to internalize and acquire vocabulary in the Chinese language. Directly engaging with the language through examples will enhance your understanding and retention, ensuring a more sustainable and lasting grasp of the material.
今天晚上几点开始？
你要在这里待几天？
Congratulations, dear friends, on completing this lesson. I wish you the very best in your Chinese learning journey, and I hope that my efforts in these lessons contribute to your progress. See you in the next exciting lesson. 非常感谢您观看这个视频，如果您喜欢，别忘了点赞以获取更多的视频。欢迎提供您的反馈，以便改进内容。愉快学习，拜拜。